2 weeks later, and I'm still here trying to figure out how Umar Nurmagomedov slipped up and unfortunately crashed for us as the second step in our Locky two-step, forcing us to rip up that ticket as well as the Locky Trinity. Even though Grant Dawson did what he was supposed to do and Jailton Almeida did what he was supposed to do, still very surprising that Nurmagomedov was not able to get it done, but it is what it is. That is what the game is at this point. So let's see if we can bounce back this week with our Locky two-step and Locky Trinity. Do want to give a quick shout out to my XO fans out there, my weekend fans, repping the After Hours Till Dawn tour sweater for these next two videos, celebrating the last album that he just dropped. So been pounding that all night, all day pretty much, and that's kind of what's caused me to be a little bit delayed with dropping these two videos for you guys. So hopefully any of my weekend fans out there, hopefully you guys are enjoying that album as well. All right, without too further ado, do quickly want to plug OKTAGON 66 going down tomorrow as well, probably at the same time as the UFC card, which kicks off at 9 a.m. Eastern time. OKTAGON 66, I have track plays, some pretty good plays on there, I'm hoping, considering the odds. And then the quick picks full breakdown for that card as well is on the Lock of the Night Patreon page, and that's where you can find all the other track plays that I have for the UFC card going down this weekend as well. That's where you're able to get this parlay much earlier in the week, where you often get much better odds than you get when I drop it on Friday to the public. Unlike this weekend, though, because there was some action against some of the spots that I got here, so we'll see if we can cash it regardless, and you guys are able to get a better number this time around. So let's get right into it. First step up in the Locky two-step is going to be Mike Davis as he goes up against Fares Ziam. Now, Davis, a little bit inactive for my liking. His four-fight winning streak stretches all the way back to 2019, but he is still a very high-level fighter and a guy that can prove that he deserves to be a ranked fighter and even has the potential to be a top 10 lightweight in the world. Very good striking, very good wrestling, and we saw last time around he's improving his jiu-jitsu enough that he can go out there and submit guys too, and I expect him to do that here against Fares Ziam, who's improving in his own right, 27 years old now, turning into a man, has some solid kickboxing skills as well, but I think he's very much going to struggle with the entire game of Mike Davis here, and as long as Davis has not completely fallen off a cliff that I don't know about, I expect him to go out there and do some work here and cash as our first step in the Locky two-step. The second step is going to come in the form of Israel Adesanya in the main event going up against Nasruddin Imavov. Now, this is a matchup where I'm kind of surprised that the line is as close as it is, but I think there is some recency bias here as to Adesanya being on this two-fight losing streak against guys that are more unorthodox fighters than he'll be seeing from Imavov. I think Izzy can do a good job in terms of picking Imavov apart and then pulling away in deep waters as Imavov starts to slow down and we see him win this fight on the scorecards. I think we're getting a great number here, and to be able to parlay it with a Mike Davis who was around that minus 140 line, I was able to get plus 182 earlier this week when I dropped it. A little bit of action against Davis this week has now brought the line to about plus 185. So a little bit better than when I dropped it to the Patreon folks earlier this week. Now let's get to the Locky Trinity. If you want to complete it here, we're going to go with an underdog. A spot that I feel a little bit more confident with than most people are, but I'm going to go with Michael Venom Page as he goes up against Shara Magomedov, looking to hand him his first professional loss as a 15-0 Russian, has gained a boatload of fans and even more, especially after his last knockout victory where he got this beautiful double spinning back fist knockout over Armin Petrosyan. But Michael Venom Page is not going to be there to be hit by those types of shots. I think we'll see Page utilize his elusive style, really pick apart Magomedov from distance, utilizing his counter-striking and his speed advantage, and I think that's going to cause Magomedov a lot of trouble that he has yet to face inside the pro mixed martial arts realm. Look for Page to have solid success and win this fight likely on the scorecards. Obviously, it'll get a little bit iffy should it hit the scorecards, obviously being in Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia. Regardless, I believe he can make it look good enough that it shouldn't warrant any type of robbery here. So I'm going to go Michael Venom Page as the final step in the Locky Trinity, which I was able to lock in at plus 605 earlier this week, and now it finds itself at plus 655. Again, that action from against Davis and against Page has brought that line up a little bit. So whatever. Still a damn good line, and I'm hoping that we're able to go out there and cash it. All right, I'll be back later this evening for the prop drop for UFC Saudi Arabia. I'll see you guys then. Peace.